Hello, everyone. I am Richie Penjor, currently working in TIG Tech Private Limited. So I'm here with a new session. So in this session, I'll be talking on Selenium. The main objective of today's session is actually to show a demo on Selenium ID. But before actually going to the Selenium ID demo, it is very important to understand what actually Selenium is and where do we use selenium and why selenium is used by most of the testers and all. So in this session, so I'll be covering this content. Actually, what is selenium? So I'll be basically giving you all a very brief general background of what selenium is, why selenium as a tool for the automation testing, component of selenium integrated development environment. So that is where I'll be focusing more. But before that, let us understand what actually selenium is. Now, what is selenium? When we if we ask this question to a student at the school level, he or she will answer this as selenium as a chemical element with atomic number 34 in the periodic table. But the same student finds a different answer for it when he lands in the technical environment. So what is that different answer? The answer is simple. Selenium is an automation testing tool for web application. So when I say Selenium as an automation testing tool for web application, for those who are very new to the Selenium world, you will actually find very difficult to understand what actually automation testing is. But for those who already know and who are already inside the Selenium world would understand what actually automation testing is and what actually this definition says. So uh, Selenium is an automation testing tool for web application. Now let us understand what actually testing is, what is automation, and why Selenium. Have you ever thought of why testing plays a very critical role in software development lifecycle? So I hope you understand why testing plays a very critical role in the software development lifecycle. And have you ever heard of automation testing? So if yes, then you might be aware of what Selenium is. Now, Selenium is considered as a counterpart of automation testing. If no, then it is time for you to go ahead and actually understand the importance of Selenium in the IT world. Now let us understand what actually automation testing is. But before that, let us understand what software testing means. What is software testing? Investigating or checking the quality of software application before they are released to the user. The same testing is applicable even for the web application, as most of the business today are internet or web-based. It is not only that the testing of the software is only for the desktop software or desktop application or mobile application, but also applicable for the web application, as most of the business today are internet or web-based. So why should we do testing for web application? Let us imagine a scenario where you place an order online on online shopping, but you are not able to actually track the status of your order. Now, the cause may be due to the bug or the error in the application backend code. So the action we need to take, or there is a need for the testing of the code to avoid such bugs or the error. Now, this is where the Selenium tools offer such testing for the web application. It is not that only the Selenium, there are other tools, but Selenium is one of them, which actually offers such testing for the web application. Now, types of software testing: manual testing and automation testing. Manual testing, with the word itself, I hope you understand what manual testing is. So a personal or testing which is carried out by a personal by writing a specific line of code. This specific line of code is actually the test cases. Usually during the software testing, cases are made or prepared. So when the test cases must be executed manually for every transaction using different types of attributes and dataset. So the result of the test case, either success or failure, must be recorded manually. So the major drawback of the manual testing is the high chance of human error, while the repetition of the test case execution, which results in low product quality. So no customer or no client would like to have a product that has low quality or low efficiency and all. Let us understand what actually automation testing is. Automation testing, the drawback of manual testing result in automation testing, where a tool is used like Selenium. Tool is used to execute test cases, avoiding manual interference for every transaction. Now, the great advantage of automation testing is we can configure the test cases so that they can be tested irrespective of operating system, platform, and web browsers. The result of the test case can be automated by scheduling it to a particular time of the day. So therefore, what is Selenium? I hope you by now you understand what Selenium is. Selenium is automation tool for web browser or web application, actually web application. So let's answer this. Why testing plays a very critical role in the software development lifecycle? Software testing is a very critical factor for a successful software product run. It must be tested thoroughly before delivering it to user for software product effective performance. All the software in the market are properly tested, yet they have defects. It is very important to deliver the software without any defects, and all test engineers try to catch them before software release to avoid any issue in future. So automation testing has become very famous due to its various advantages. So it increases the effectiveness and efficiency of the software. Now, Selenium is actually, Selenium itself is the automation tool. So it is one of the widely used automation testing tools because of its various advantage. And testers, they prefer Selenium over any other tool due to its ease of use, availability, and simplicity. So I've collected some of the survey or data on the automation tool. So in the Google trend, we can see that the Selenium software, it has been increasing over time, and within the geographical area in the region, almost all the countries are using Selenium as an automation tool. And this test automation tool breakdown for organization with 100 employees. So around 29% of the employees actually supported the Selenium. So we can say that Selenium is quite popular as an automation testing tool. And this survey is the world's most desirable test automation skill. So the blue line or the blue graph or the blue bar, it shows the Selenium. So in most of the big country and biggest country, they use Selenium as an automation testing tool. So why Selenium as a tool for automation testing? Selenium is an open source automation testing tool, and it is free of cost to use. Number one, supports test script written in any user preferred languages such as C#, Java, Perl, PHP, Python, and Ruby. So in the Selenium IDE demo, I'll show how to actually export the file or the test case in the Java file. And number three, it supports test case execution on multiple operating systems such as Windows, Linux, Android, Mac, and iOS, supporting testing on different web browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, and Selenium supports parallel test execution. So this is the main reason why Selenium as a tool, Selenium is used as a tool for automation testing by most of the test engineers. Although with the advantage comes disadvantage, but Selenium testing tool has both advantage and shortcomings in comparison to other automation testing tools, but Selenium overshadow other testing tools in area of number one, cost. Selenium comes at free of cost as it is an open source testing tool. Number two, parallel testing. Tester can execute test script on multiple machines simultaneously. And number three, flexibility. So it supports test script in multiple languages, execution on multiple browser and operating system. Now this is why the Selenium software is quite popular as an automation testing tool. So what are the components of the Selenium? Now, it is proper to call Selenium as a Selenium suite since it is a collection of 4 different tools or components, namely Selenium IDE, Selenium Remote Control RC, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. And in today's session, I'll be focusing on the Selenium IDE, and we'll be showing you a short demo on how to work with the Selenium IDE. So Selenium Integrated Development Environment as SIDE. It is only simplest and easy to learn component or a tool in the Selenium automation testing suite and can be installed easily. It can be installed from the Chrome or it can be installed in Chrome or Firefox from the web store and put it as an extension. So it can be installed easily to actually record and execute frequent test cases quickly. The user interaction with the web browser are recorded and test cases are created based on this recording. And you can also play back this test case repeatedly. Now, Selenium ID was actually, this is a very brief history on Selenium ID. It was actually initially created by Shinya Kasatani of Japan as a Firefox plugin that actually record and playbacks the user browser interaction. So initially, Selenium ID was also known as Selenium Recorder. The other idea behind the development of the Selenium ID was the speed up the creation of the test cases. Later, 2006, so actually he donated the Selenium ID to this Selenium project. So this is the brief history on how Selenium ID came into the Selenium world. So let us begin with the Selenium integrated development environment. So this was the actual brief background on Selenium. What is Selenium? Why Selenium as an automation testing tool and the component of the Selenium. So let us start with Selenium IDE development environment demo. So for today's demo on the Selenium IDE, I'll be using Chrome, Google Chrome. So let us go to the Google Chrome, Chrome Web Store. From the Chrome Web Store, let's search Selenium. So here, Selenium ID, you just click on Add to Chrome and then add it as an extension. Add it as an extension. So here, the Chrome, actually the Selenium ID has been added in our extension. So if it is not visible, just click this icon and you can see Selenium ID. Click on the Selenium ID. So after clicking on the Selenium ID, you will actually see this window as a welcome to Selenium ID. You can see the window popping out, pop up, whereby it will welcome to the Selenium ID. So you can see some of the options like record a new test in a new project, open an existing project, create new project, or close Selenium ID. So let us create new test in a new project. And so it will actually ask the project name. So I will say this as demo test 1. So we need to actually have one web application where we want to test it. So for this testing purpose, I'll be using Orange HRM. Orange HRM for the testing purpose. Orange HRM, so the open source demo, Orange HRM. So let us hit the start button. So start recording. Now, so it will provide, it will start recording and you can see that it has started the application. Below you can see the Selenium is starting, the Selenium ID is recording. So actually, I wanted to split this screen into two so that we can actually view the Selenium ID as well as the Orange HRM web page. But I will directly go with the demo. So let us click whenever if I actually hit or if I click on the username, you can actually see in the Selenium IDE that the Selenium ID in the command that I've clicked on the username actually text area. Begin. So I'm just so I'll use the username as admin. Yes. Firstly, let us type our username as an admin, then add the password, DMIN 123 password. So a very cool feature with this Selenium ID is while you are recording, if you right click on any of the element, you will find this option Selenium ID. For example, if you click on this, right click, you can find this Selenium ID, Selenium ID, and it will give you some of the option like store, assets, assert, store, verify, wait for. So option that you can use. For example, if I say, let us verify the text, so verify text. Now, this particular element, actually, if we go into the Selenium ID, we go into the Selenium ID, we can see in the log file that this element does not have property text. So please change to use the value command instead. And this is the message that that will actually pop up. So if I now, so it has given the message that the element does not have actually the property text. So you can get actually different option. You can get different option within the Selenium ID to mouse over, assert, store, and all. Different option for different element, and you can actually use this. So you can use this. So as of now, let us log in to the Orange HRM. So whenever I click on something, the Selenium actually it will record, or whenever I type something, the Selenium will record, and all this record will be stored in the command of the Selenium ID. Let us log into it. Okay. And it has logged in, and I will click on the link okay, welcome admin. So I will just log it out. So we have only created around 5 to 6 test line or the test cases. So let us go to the Selenium ID. Just stop the recording. Okay. Now let us stop. In the panel, you can see the stop button. You can stop the recording after it is completed and give the test name as test demo 1. Yeah, test demo 1. So since after recording, you can see in the panel that we have command. Now the very good thing about the Selenium ID is that you can actually go to any step and you can see the details of the step. For example, you can go here, you can see the detail of the steps. Example, if I go here, you can see the command. You can see the command, okay, and you can also see the target and the value and the description if it is there. And another very good thing with the new the Selenium ID is if you click on this drop down arrow in the target area, you will actually find that the Selenium while recording has actually captured a lot of locators for this particular element. So in case if this ID, the primary locator does not work, if you can does not work, you can search the element with the other locator, and this is something very much required for the people who work with the Selenium, work for the people. So people who work with the Selenium knows that this is a nightmare sometimes, that the locator breaks. And if you are using multiple browser, the locator will not work, will only work in one browser but does not work in the other browser. So these things is taken care by the Selenium IDE, and you can see all these properties and locators, and then you can also see the reference here, And so when you go to any of the command, or step, you can see the details of that particular command or the action, and you can see the information here, Uh, now you can also do some manual editing by just right clicking on the command, and you can insert new command, clear all the command, toggle, add toggle breakpoint and all. So these are the some of the features within the Selenium IDE. And you can also clear and you can edit any steps and add any command. And you can also edit manually and add steps if you go here at the, so any steps. So if you go here on at the top after the recording has been stopped, you can see one button known as the run all the tests, which will run all the tests that is located here. Just now we have only one test case known as the test demo one. So you can run, if you have 3 to 5 test cases, you can run all the test cases at once. So this this button, the run current test, and you have, and then we have step over the current command, and this is very helpful while we are debugging. And then you can see this option to, and then you can see this option like test execution speed, uh, where we can actually set the speed of the execution, and by default it is set to the highest possible value, but you can also change it in case you are facing any network issue and you feel that your steps are failing because of the network is slow. So you can always change this and then test your script. And if you come, so if you come here at the right top, so you can see a button, create new project. So, and open project and save your project. So let us save this project. So you can save in your desired locations. I'll save in the desktop. So the extension for this demo test, the demo test is site, that means Selenium IDE. So I'll save this. You can also extract this test case as a Java file, Ruby, PHP and all, or C#. So after saving your project, so you can see we have the option called as disable. So disable breakpoint. To actually disable breakpoint, so actually you can create breakpoint within the command itself by clicking here, left clicking. So we have created the breakpoint, and then you can, after creating a breakpoint, you can use this step over current command. So while you have created a breakpoint, you and you run your test, it will actually stop at the breakpoint, and then you can step over the steps one by one for debugging and the troubleshooting. We also have the option called pause on the exception. It will actually pause, and then you can troubleshoot. We also have the pause on the exception, and this is very useful while you are debugging. So in case of any exception, it will pause, and then you can troubleshoot your issue. So these are the very cool feature. We have the log at the bottom. You can see the log. logs while you are running your test. And here you can see we have the test suite. Here we can see we have the test suite, and within a single test suite you can create a multiple test cases. So we have test suite and executing. Just now we are within the test, then when we are within the test case, and after we play this button it will go into the executing. So let us start running our test. We'll start. Since I've kept the test execution speed at the fast, since we only have 5 to 6 steps, let us keep it a little bit slow. So I'm just going to run this. So I'll say run the current test. So it is running. It will, since it is an automation tools, it will run automatically. So it will get logged in. So it has already added the username and let us start. Let us run this. So it will automatically add uh, adding the username and the password. So it is going to log in and admin and username. It will get logged in. So it will logged in. And then after that, after logging it in, it will now click on the welcome and get logged out. That is all happening not manually but automatically. It will logged out and everything is fine just now, since there are no error on this. So everything is fine and the test demo one has completed successfully. Now the one other thing with the Selenium IDE is there are you can see here the test demo one has been completed and there are no errors or bugs we find. So if there is bug, since I've already clicked on the pause on exception, it will actually pause. But since everything is fine and it has completed successfully. Now, one other thing with the new Selenium IDE is there are implicit weights already added, so you don't have to worry about synchronization, which is actually the problem, which is the main problem with the manual testing. So this was again a real pain point for a lot of automation engineers, that the synchronization was implicit weight already something. And so there is inbuilt synchronization and implicit weights already added, and you can also test if there is something. So I'll just make some. So if I make some mistake in one of the command, let's make one mistake in one of the command and run this. Run this. So for now it is going well. So at the command number 9, so it is taking time. So it is trying to find the locator. So since the locator is not there, so it will actually fail. You can see this, and it will keep on finding for a certain period of time. And now you can see that the implicit wait timeout for 30,000 milliseconds. So it is 30 seconds. So it has already failed. So now So this is something inbuilt and very useful in the new Selenium IDE. So you can actually use all the features. And the one last thing on the Selenium IDE is that you can actually, since you can actually export it as a Java file or any other file in any other language. So just go here and in the test, then here the three dot, and within the three dot, just click it on it and go to export. So you can export it as Java, C#, none. So I'll export it as Java and getter. See. So this we have saved the actually test demo or the test case as a Java file. So this is all for the demo on the Selenium IDE. I hope you have understood what actually Selenium is, and I hope you have understood how actually Selenium IDE works. Thank you.